Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and in today's video I'm going to review Week 12 of the NFL. I haven't been able to do this because the Steelers-Ravens game was postponed to Wednesday night. But this week there are no Thursday games, no games for today, so I have more time to do the picks. But let's start off with the two Thanksgiving games. We have the Texans versus the Lions first, and the Texans won pretty big, 41-25. Deshaun Watson was excellent in the win, throwing for 4 touchdowns. Stafford, a touchdown and an interception. And after this game, the Lions fired their coach, Matt Patricia. So I think that's a reasonable thing to do because you need a new era. You haven't been able to do too much with him, so it makes sense. But the Texans, nice for them to get the win. They moved to 4-7, so still both these teams not looking like they're very good. Then we have an unexpected blowout. The Washington football team versus the Dallas Cowboys. I had the Cowboys in this one, but it is not the Cowboys at all. 41-16 Washington football team. And the Washington football team is actually starting to look like a decent team now. One of the best in their conference, but they're 4-7. Yeah, that conference is a mess. 1 touchdown and 1 interception for Smith, but Gibson rushes for 3 touchdowns and also a touchdown and an interception for Dalton. So the Cowboys have really been struggling. I understand they have Dak Prescott out, but I don't think it's just that. Okay, let's move to the Sunday games. Our first game, it's the Browns versus the Jaguars, and the Jaguars fall to 1-10 with the loss. They lose 27-25, so they lose a slim one. And Glennon throws 2 touchdowns for the Jaguars. Mayfield throws 2 touchdowns for the Browns. A touchdown for both of the running backs, Chubb and Robinson. And the Browns win a close one, but I think it is possible for the Jaguars to win another game. But I don't know. It's the race for Trevor Lawrence, tank for Trevor, and I don't think the Jaguars are going to be able to beat the Jets. So then let's move on to the next game, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Falcons. And sometimes weird things just happen in the NFL. Like even a good team can sometimes lose a game that they're almost a lock to win. And that's kind of what happened here. The Las Vegas Raiders blown out by the Falcons, 43-6. They were looking like a pretty good team bound for the playoff, but they're going to have to win a lot of games to get in now. 1 interception for Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Matt Ryan, and sometimes weird things just happen. And yeah, allowing 43 points, that's a whole lot of points for the NFL. Wow, that is a pretty crazy game. Then we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Chargers, and the Bills hang on in this one, 27-17. They moved to 8-3 with the win. A touchdown and an interception for both Herbert and Allen, and yeah, a bit of a low-scoring game there. So then let's move on. The Giants slid past the Bengals 19-17. They moved to 4-7, and Daniel Jones was injured in the Giants win. So lots of backups coming into the NFL now. So 213 yards for Daniel Jones, and for Allen, the Bengals quarterback, 1 touchdown and a one interception. I think there's now like 3 starting quarterbacks that have the last name of Allen. So yeah, and 2 of them are backups, I think. So Yeah, lots of backups. And then the Titans put up a whole lot of points for the Colts. 45-26, it's the final. They moved to 8-3 with the win. 178 yards and 3 touchdowns for Derrick Henry to give him all those points. A touchdown for Tannehill. And that's kind of how I think the Tennessee Titans can do well. They have a big game behind Derrick Henry, and then Tannehill doesn't have to do fantastic. He just has to be decent. And so almost like Henry, it's the star of the team. He's the heart of the team. And I think if they use him and he can keep that up, they will do a great job to get into the playoffs and possibly have a path to the Super Bowl. Then we have the Vikings edging the Panthers 28-27. One touchdown and an interception for Teddy Bridgewater. He's back for this game. And Kirk Cousins had a great game for the Vikings. 3 touchdowns, and the Vikings edge past the Panthers. These are 2 mediocre teams. They haven't been doing the best, but yeah. Let's move on to the next one. We have the Patriots versus the Cardinals, and the Patriots win a close one, 20-17. And yeah, both of these teams have been up and down this season. It wasn't a very good game for the quarterbacks. Cam Newton only threw for 84 yards and 2 interceptions, and Murray threw for 170 and 1 interception. But Kenyon Drake, 2 touchdowns for the Cardinals, but that's not enough for them to win the game. 20-17 Patriots. They moved to 5-6 with the win. Okay, so the Dolphins will go against the New York Jets, and as you would expect, they win pretty easily, 20-3. And not too much offense from the Dolphins, and I don't know if they'll be able to get Tua back, but I think they will be able to do a little better with Tua. But great defense here from the Dolphins, picking up Sam Darnold 2 times. And yeah, I think for the Jets, it's just time to fire their coach at this point. And so a big win there for the Dolphins. And then another blowout win here for the Saints over the Broncos, the quarterback-less Broncos. They used Hinton, a wide receiver, I believe, and he goes 1 of 9 for 2 interceptions. So that's what's going to happen. Taysom Hill threw an interception as well, but they do enough to win. They win 31-3 and move to 9-2. So the Saints are still looking like a pretty good team. I don't know if they'll be able to get Drew Brees back this season, though. Okay, the 49ers win a close one versus the Rams to move to 5-6. And 1 interception for Nick Mullins in the game and 2 interceptions for Jared Goff. So good defense from the 49ers. And a touchdown from each of the running backs there as well. Mostert and Akers. Those were the 2 running backs with the most yards in that game. So yeah, 23-20 49ers. I don't think the 49ers have a path to this playoff, but it does say something that they're the worst team in that division, the NFC West, I believe, and they're still not doing too bad. So that is a great little division there. And then we had the marquee matchup of the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs get the win 27-24 to move to 10-1. They have 10 wins now, and they hold off Tom Brady's comeback. Mahomes had an excellent day, throwing for 462 and 3 touchdowns, and Tom Brady threw for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So the problem with Tom Brady this season is definitely the interceptions. He's throwing a lot of interceptions. So yeah, the Buccaneers move to 7-5. They can still make the playoff, but they're going to have to play pretty well to get in there. So then next up, we have the Sunday night game. The Packers won over the Bears 41-25. And yeah, so the Bears, we thought, had a pretty good defense, but no. Trubisky started for the Bears, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So I think the difference between Trubisky and Foles is kind of just going to be like meh. He can't get much of anything going. Not much like spectacular stuff out of him, but he might not turn over the ball quite as much as Trubisky. Trubisky can be like electric and score points for them, but he turns over the ball too much. 4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers in the Packers win. The Packers are looking like a pretty good team. Then we have the Seahawks versus the Eagles, and the Eagles are definitely struggling. They lose this one in a close one, a pretty good defense to hold the Seahawks to 23, but the Seahawks get the win 23-17, 2 touchdowns and an interception for Carson Wentz and a touchdown for Russell Wilson. So the Seahawks move to 8-3 with the win. And then we have the Wednesday night football game. This was postponed several times due to COVID, and we had some star players out. Lamar Jackson out, J.K. Dobbins out, Mark Ingram out. So Griffin starts for the Ravens. He played most of the game, but he had a hamstring injury. So then McSorley comes in and throws for 77 yards and a touchdown. And Griffin rushed for 7 carries and 68 yards, a touchdown, and an interception for Roethlisberger. This was a pretty sloppy game overall, though. And it seems to me like all of the Ravens quarterbacks are running quarterbacks. That's 3 of them. McSorley, Griffin, and Jackson. They all can run it. But the Steelers, they're still undefeated, but that wasn't a very good game from them. But yeah, the Ravens moved to 6-5 with the loss. So the Ravens starting to get a little desperate here. So overall on this week, I think I was 12-4. So yeah, please make sure to subscribe, like, and check out my other channels. This is the Sports Spiral out.